So I just got done watching Bad Spark, and it is officially the worst first date I have ever seen in my life. Also known as the reason I never order the crab legs anymore. This sees the dark secret of the Axelon revealed as a giant stasis pod is found, branded with an X. And the Predacons, specifically Megatron, sees a particular opportunity. The episode really is, it's a great introduction episode for Rampage, but make no mistake, this is a Black Arachnia Silverbolt episode. It is the Black Arachnia Silverbolt episode. It is the beginning of their actual relationship. And it's interesting to see. We've seen the little tidbits. We've seen the chivalry from Silverbolt, but not like a genuine attraction. It's actually Black Arachnia that shows those cracks first. But this is where it starts coming together. The first scene we get, I love because it's, well, one of the first scenes we get. We see that he's sending Black Arachnia and Waspinator to get this protoform. I don't know why you send the most treacherous one and the most incompetent one after the pod, but Megatron at least knows what he's doing to an extent because he puts a tracking device on Black Arachnia that lets him spy on her, well unaware that Tarantulas has a tracking device on his control chair spying on him. Everyone spins their webs, and it's just about who spins them bigger. The episode is interesting in that I love that both the Axelon and the Nemesis had a hidden agenda. Optimus and Megatron both had secret agendas to their journeys. Megatron is actually going to prehistoric Earth to change what will be the future. Optimus was set to dispose of Protoform X on some barren planet. I don't know why you don't just shoot it into a sun. I'm pretty sure that would get rid of it. No. The Maximals don't want to just like straight up murder, their mistake. No, they want to abandon it for eternity because that's so much better. Yeah. So the weirdest thing about this episode is the fact that Protoform X was a Maximal idea. They were trying to recreate Starscream's mutant spark that was completely unextinguishable, which is definitely like trying to play Primus and trying to create immortality does not seem like a Maximal goal. That definitely seems like a Predacon thing to do. But rightfully so. The Protoform is insane. They had to seal it into a pod, which actually kind of possibly confirms that the Transformers in stasis pods actually were Transformers on Cybertron that were returned to a protoform state for travel. I mean, at the very least, that's what happened to Protoform X, so I'm going to assume they do it with the rest, which is nice to know that like Tigatron, Airraiser potentially had history on Cybertron, even though they were born on Earth. So, what kicks off the action in the episode is, what kicks off action in a lot of episodes is an Energon Explosion. Except this one manages to create a tornado capable of lifting up metal robots. I know Energon is pretty much whatever the writers want it to be that episode, but I think that's stretching it a little bit. I think creating weather phenomena in an instant is a little much. But hey, it gets everyone separated, puts Silverbolt and Black Arachnia together and in need of each other's aid to survive. Considering Black Arachnia was, very much, like taking shots at him every chance she got, like she's literally just punching him and just attacking him, ninja kicking him, trying to get him to fight back, and he will not drop the chivalry. This is, you have to understand, in Black Arachnia's head, trust isn't easy for her. She does, in her head, she doesn't understand why Silverbolt is the way he is. She is so used to being betrayed, and amongst Predacons, so used to everyone being out for themselves. So the fact that someone is being selfless for her sake is unusual. And it's something that she doesn't know quite how to trust. In a way, attacking Silverbolt here is, in a sense, trying to test that for her own sake. But later on, we actually do see, where Silverbolt falls from a cliff after fighting a snake. Or no, not even a snake. No, because that was the last big animal. It's been a while since a wild creature attacked the Maximals. No, it's a saber-toothed tiger. Which, those are still around, I guess. But we see Black Arachnia. She has the chance to just let Silverbolt fall and be rid of one more Maximal. And she saves him. Which is the first selfless thing it's the first thing she's ever done for somebody else of her own accord, without her life or freedom being threatened. It's the first time she's done anything selfless, which is a big change for her. You know, and this is returned in favor later on. You know, again, she's used to being used. She's used to being manipulated, because that's how Predacons operate. At the end of the episode, where she's the one falling and Silverbolt risks his own life to dive it down after her, she is not used to someone wanting to protect her. It's an unusual thing for her. And as we see their relationship progress, we're going to see more what goes on through her head. And I think that's the interesting aspect of their relationship, is Black Arachnia is going to go through a lot before she is ready to actually, like, commit to Silverbolt here. So, one of the elements of this, like I said, is Tarantulas. We know Tarantulas to be, like, the creepy element of the show. So when he's introduced into the plot of this episode, specifically to be the fall guy for Rampage, it is to set up just how dangerous and frightening Rampage is. We actually see Tarantulas, of all bots, screaming in horror, which is not something you would normally see. It sets up a good, like, monster movie vibe. There's a definite horror element to this episode that works really well. And Rampage himself is built to be exceptionally intimidating and ominous. He's huge, he's powerful, nigh unstoppable. That'll change next episode. But for now, he has debut power, and debut power is making him an extremely effective monster, which is a really cool thing, because the show hasn't touched on anything like that. It's actually, you know, like, no one to this point has been this hulking mass of just rage the way that Rampage is. Let's see. Looking through here, what else can I touch on? The other part about Rampage I loved was when he's on the attack, he's screaming. He is, like, manic in his exclamations. But when he's talking to Silverbolt, he gets surprisingly calm when he's talking about fear and terror. It's like, it's unnerving to see the switch between this, you know, screaming monster and this, like, calm, like, sociopath. Like, it's creepy, and it works. Let's see, there's one element I want to get to at the end. I'm going to touch on a few little tidbits. It's the first time we heard Black Arachnia saying "not too shabby." We're going to go back to that line eventually. It's also another incident where Black Arachnia helps the Maximals, because she's helping shoot Rampage off the cliff at the end. So she keeps finding herself in a situation where it benefits her to start helping out with the good guys. Interesting little tidbits to sew in. Speaking of tidbits sewed in, this is the episode where we see Dinobot upload something to the Maximal computer. This is supposed to tie into Dark Glass. It's supposed to be a backup of his memories. Because remember, Dinobot has already, you know, accepted his fate. Like, even in Scott's own words, Dinobot knew 5 episodes before his final episode that he was going to die. So he's preparing for that. He's preparing for the moment where fate will let him take action in the Beast Wars. And this is part of it. It was supposed to be followed up in Dark Glass. It wasn't. When we get to those episodes, I will have a rant prepared. But for now, it's something to note here. the last element to this is Megatron himself. He is sitting back observing Black Arachnia, and I love the reactions. Like when Black Arachnia and Silverbolt getting along after she saves him, his response is, "Oh, yuck," which is hilarious to me. Because not only is it a comedic reaction, he's not dumb. He knows what's about. He can see already what's going on between the two, and he's going to use it in the near future. What he's doing now is, as soon as he discovers what Rampage is all about, he immediately comes up with a plan to twist Rampage into his servant by harvesting half of his spark, which is such a twisted concept in this series that you would imagine he's got half of his soul trapped in an Energon cube that he sliced out with a scalpel that he just made an hour ago. It's devious, it's cunning, it's sadistic, it's callous, it's perfectly Beast Wars Megatron. It's one of the things that makes him such a great villain. You can see this as a Predacon win episode. You know, the Maximals really didn't gain anything from this. The Predacons gained the most powerful character we've seen so far. So that is Bad Spark. It is a masterful episode between the elements of Silverbolt and Black Arachnia coming together, and Rampage set up as such a good, threatening appearance. This is an exceptionally enjoyable episode. Next one. You know what the next one is. And you thought I was long-winded this episode. Oh boy. Just you wait. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.